1.8 million,
Yeah.
25 people, and you know, those 10 years have absolutely flown by. I'm James Crawford, Managing Director of PR Agency One.
I'm Richard Hollister, Account Director of PR Agency One.
We've known each other a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
It
But
was-
not
it was
quite
that-
10 years.
Yeah, it was that level of intimacy that made us think a nice fireside chat for our 10th anniversary would be a nice way of conveying the story of the past, present and the future. Yeah, so I set PR Agency One up because I felt that PR agencies weren't particularly strong at measurement. I was a big aficionado of SEO, of Google Analytics, and I felt that was a great way to measure PR. My one-time director, Steve Lee, had left the agency that we were at beforehand to set up reputation consultancy, and I'd started winning work. I said to Steve, look, I'm winning lots of work, why don't you come and help me? I didn't want to just go freelance and see how it went. I'd always had this ambition of running a company.
So did you give yourself 3 months at the time, or was it like
I thought,
I'm free, this
I'm
is
going
me?
to try it, and if it doesn't work out, what's the worst that could happen? I could always get another job, because I'm a talented guy.
Yeah.
So I just did it, and I didn't look back. Shit got real really quickly. I started with 3 clients, so that was helpful. I wasn't like scratching around trying to find clients or anything like that. And you know, I started the website, got the proposition down, and started with quite a unique proposition at the time. I think measurement wasn't really something that people were talking about. No one had really talked much about SEO PR, digital PR at the time.
And in terms of like initial clients, I sort of remember from my early days that we had a clutch of international clients quite quickly.
Yeah, we did.
Because although sort of based in Manchester and sort of based in Chorlton, it's not a regional thing. It's not even sort of national. It's online, so it was sort of global.
I worked really hard on our website's visibility, you know, and our website is the most visible PR agency in the UK when it comes to organic search, and therefore people found us. So we had lots of clients from all over the UK, most of them out of the northwest.
Yeah.
You know, London. We had clients in Germany and you know all over the world very quickly, which was unusual for a startup, I'd say.
And then, so with the clients, you then needed the people. How was sort of the first hire and the hiring process when you had to convince someone maybe to work for you?
For a good while, it was me, Steve, and a cast of freelancers who were great, you know, very talented people. I think it took me 2 years to really pluck up the courage to hire people. So our first 2 employees were Victoria Holmes and Emily Wignall. So Victoria Holmes is doing PR. Oh God, she asked me for a reference the other day. I can't remember exactly where she is, but she was great. An account manager. All of a sudden, all this stuff that I was doing, trying to do everything within the company, as you can imagine, was being done for me. Fantastic. And then Emily Wignall was a graduate, you know, really sort of committed, hard-working graduate. And she's now, I think, an associate director at a top 10 PR agency. So she's gone on to great things.
There was around sort of 6 people when I joined, so from the first person, it sort of gathered momentum quite quickly, didn't it? So the next milestone from my memory is maybe sort of Gemma and Abigail joining at a similar time, and those that probably you and they didn't know at the time would then be those 2 sort of parts of the business. But I think it's nice because they joined as account managers. They'll hopefully forgive me if not. Slightly more senior than that. But point being that they've grown sort of within the sort of business.
Gemma joined. I think she was ready to, you know, do what she's doing. And she really helped transform the kind of the B2B corporate offering. Abigail, I think she joined initially as a freelancer, and she heads up the consumer team. Yeah, and they've been, you know, transformational in terms of the drive that they've had to grow those teams and the plans they've put in place.
Yeah, so I guess from the sort of the clients to the people, then the next sort of milestone or element for me would be the sort of award sides, because that adds sort of industry recognition.
I don't know why, I really do, I do know why. I was really desperate to win some awards to show the work that we were doing. I always thought agencies that won awards, people wanted to work for them, and you know, I really wanted to attract the best talent, and clients, yeah, they wanted to work with award-winning agencies. Best Use of Evaluation was our first ever award. And you know, we've gone on and we've won like Agency of the Year now in PR Moment, CIPR, PLCA. 6 times. Yeah.
Multiple times in
Best use of
different years.
creative content. We've entered the Search Awards and we've won Best Use of PR in a Search campaign at the EU Search Awards UK.
Yeah.
Drum Awards. We've won the lot. I don't want to blow our own trumpet.
I'd sort of joined soon after Abigail, and that was the point where, like I said, we won, I think, Best Use of Evaluation for the Alphrasia work, and it was about the penguin update. And then the one that I remember after that was maybe small agency.
Yeah.
We then won large agency the year after, so it was sort of back to back, but we didn't retain, we'd sort of grown it. So that was like, you know, it felt like a coming of age to me.
Yeah, when we went, the CI Pro Awards went from best small agency to best agency, I was like, that is news. Yeah. I think though, you know, awards are great. But the thing that probably was most transformational for the business actually is the bit that you don't see, and that's like financial accounting. Hiring Sarah as, well, originally she was a credit controller, now she's our head of operations, has been transformational actually. She's really made sure that we are always profitable, and that's really helps us maintain and grow the business too.
Have you got any sort of highlights of campaigns, not to pick out sort of particular pieces of work, but maybe either demonstrate what we do really well, stuff that sort of turned out well, that you were sort of skeptical on, or something like an Auto Trader where we got to make our own perfume, and that's just not what a PR does day to day.
Cool, blimey, where's to start? You know, I think probably the most transformational account for us was probably One for All. When we won One for All, and then we supported them across their entire marketing team, that really was transformational, and we did some really great work. Everything from, you know, press office to large-scale campaigns, both on the consumer side and on the B2B side. Supported them on broadcast, worked with various celebrities to promote the gift card, created some great content. Denise Van Outen, if you're listening, that was a personal highlight. And RNIB, you know, RADA, all came along. We did some good work with those guys. We won Decathlon, and that was a transformational piece. Won their UK PR. Did some huge campaigns. We run their entire product press office, but we've also done some big brand building campaigns, running their podcasts, where we've interviewed all sorts of celebrities, created great pieces of on-site content, run their activity index, and also all their measurement and evaluation as well.
And the consumer ones are almost the fun ones with celebrities, but also on sort of B2B corporate side as well.
Yeah.
I think we've got more, you know, we've got case studies of where sort of PR worked, and then over the years we've been able to add sort of bells and whistles in terms of influences in a sort of B2B corporate sense, so futurologists, psychologists, you know, podcasts in a sort of B2B sense. So
I think in the last 3 years, I mean, B2B's always been a massive part of what we do. In the last 3 years, B2B corporate team's had a massive step change. You know, with the likes of Gazprom, Allied London, whose premises we're in today, M3, big talent pipeline and business, accountancy partnership. You know, we've done some really great work, and with B2B corporate, the great thing about it is, because a lot of it's kind of digital lead generation as well, they're all looking to acquire new customers in some way. That whole measurement proposition really comes to the fore as well. We've always had a good culture, so it involved, you know, from Friday drinks, you know, lots of socialising, the parties, but also we formalised, I think it's more than just socialising. I think we've looked after people well, created a culture internally it's a nice place to work, generally. I think it's been, you know, always have your ups and downs, but I think the majority of the time it's been a comfortable place for people to work. The trips abroad, the company trips abroad, which we haven't done one since COVID, which we will be doing them hopefully. But that for me, that's all about the culture of the business. It's about recruiting and retaining staff. It's about rewarding people. I've been to
Budapest,
Amsterdam,
Oslo,
somewhere else.
Been to Iceland as
Iceland,
well.
we went to Iceland as well, didn't we? That was fun. You know, those trips were great. They're company conferences. If the HMRC are watching this video.
Looking to the future then, I know you've got sort of business plans in the work. You may not want to share, depending on when the video, when the video is going out.
Loose lips sink ships.
But Are we going to the moon with Bezos and Branson?
I think his next step, old Bezos, is for Eternal Life. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
I don't think we've got that plan just yet.
I'm on the mailing list for that.
I've always said I want to get to 3 million turnover and see where we are then and what we can do to kick on further. So to do that, I'm going to be adding new profit centres to the business. So at the moment we've got the corporate B2B profit centre. We're going to be adding some new ones. We've got the One Network, which is our international offering. We're going to be working really hard to grow that. Our digital and creative services, which are really good, an essential part of all the work we do, but what can we really do to push those forward? Influencers and talent, we've been doing tons of work with influencers. Steve and I are spinning out our measurement offering into a separate company. I won't say, don't want to ruin that launch, but that's going to be quite a big one. And hopefully, maybe by the time this video goes live, maybe not, we will have launched our accelerator program where we're going to be nurturing, growing new businesses, either where staff want to try something entrepreneurial, or where people from outside the business can come in and bring a business plan to us.
We want to sort of retain but also develop the culture. We'll probably always be Chorlton based because that's a character and sort of identifier of us. Yeah.
We're going to be adding offices around the UK, so we're already in discussions with office space in London, looking at Cardiff, North East Yorkshire, Scotland.
Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we've missed from sort of early?
10 years on. I just want to say, everybody who's worked for me, thank you. My team are great, really strong team. Everybody who I've employed has made up for all my shortcomings, and you've helped the company grow. Hopefully you've all benefited in some way with your careers, whether you've just learnt something or gone on to different things. Some people in the early years went through the strange start-up days. I was having a great time. Bit more, I'd say, I don't want to say more professional now, but I'd say, it was a bit of a wild ride, wasn't it, at the beginning, as you can imagine, when you're kind of 30-something start-up. But yeah, I think most people who join knowing they were joining a start-up and getting involved with a fast-growing business had a really good time. I'd like to find where every single person who's worked for us actually might do that as a little job for our 10th birthday, and send them a little thank you note, because every single person's been appreciated.